Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the last video, I explained you about goal seek, right? So in this video, I am going to show you the difference between goal seek and solver, and also I will show you what exactly solver means. And so solver basically is not a default option in Excel, so we need to we need to actually set up an add-in to use the solver in Excel. I will also show you that option, and also I will show you the example so for you to easily understand how we can use the solver. And so this is a shortcut key for using solver. So let's get into the video without wasting any time. So so here I have the example setup which we used in our last video as well. So first let's understand goal seek. So even though I explained in the last video, once again let's understand now. So using goal seek, we can only tell Excel to give us the desired value here. So for example, in this case, our desired income value is 2500. So by changing unit sold value, I want my desired income value to be 2500. So right, so that is how uh, my scenario is here. By I want my income value to be 2500 by changing this unit sold value. So to get this income value, we use goal seek option. So the shortcut key for goal seek is Alt AWG, right? So this is the pop-up box for goal seek. Here we will apply our cell differencing. So here the set cell will be the income value, because this is where we want to replace the income value, right? So what is the income value which we want to replace? It is 2500. And what is the changing cell? So the changing cell here will be the unit sold cell, right? Because we want to change the cell to get our desired income value, right? So this is what this will be our changing cell. Now if I click on OK, I will get my desired income value, which was 2500, right? So here our scenario has worked. So GoalSeek has given us the answer here, right? So but if you observe the unit sold value, we previously it was 658, but now we got a decimal value 1086.957, right? We but I don't want that value to be in decimal. I want it to be in integer. But how can I tell Excel that? Because in GoalSeek we don't have that constants. So what does that mean basically? So in GoalSeek we only have three options here. We can't additionally add extra options to tell Excel that I want this uh, decimal value to change to integer, or I want this price per unit value to be less than $4, or and the cost per unit value to be less than one, or anything of that sort, right? So I actually can't apply those constant in GoalSeek. So this is where our solver comes into place, right? So solver basically helps us to add the additional constants for these values. So here using solver we can tell Excel that this unit sold value need to be only in integer, or this price per unit value should be less than $4. So those additional constants can be applied using solver, right? So let's get started with solver now. So before getting started, let's see how we can actually add solver to our Excel ribbon. So in default, Excel doesn't provide the option for you to use the solver option, right? We need to add that add-in. So to add that add-in, either you can right click here and click on customize ribbon, or you can use the file option and go to more and click on options. So there are both ways which you can really use the solver, right? Now here I am right clicking and clicking on the customize ribbon and then going to add-ins, and here let it be Excel add-ins only, and then click on go. Here you need to select the solver add-in and click on OK, right? So once you click on OK, you need to go to the data tab. On the right side you will find the analyze button here. So there you will find the solver option, right? So this is how you need to add the solver add in here, right? Right now let's see how we can actually implement solver for this data. So what is our scenario here? Our scenario is to get the income value as 3000, and the unit sold uh, should not be should be less than 900 and should be a integer value, right? Should be an integer value, right? And our price per unit should be less than 4, right? Right. So this is our scenarios. Basically, these are our constants here. So these constants we will be applying. So these two constants we will be applying in the solver dialog box to get our income value, right? Right. So let's see how we can use the solver option. So the shortcut key for solver is Alt A by 2. Right. So this is our solver dialog box, right? So here we will be applying our constants, right? So in the goal seek dialog box we had set cell option, right? But in our solver dialog box we are having set objective. Basically both of them are equally same. Now what will be our cell objective here? So the cell objective will be the our income box, right? Our income cell, because this is where we want to change our income value to 3000, right? So this will be our set objective. And what is the income value which we want to replace here? It is 3000, right? So this is our income value which we want to replace here. So 3000 will be our uh, uh, income value. And changing variable cells. So by changing which variable cells do we get our income value as 3000? So by changing unit sold, price per unit, and also cost per unit cells, we will be getting our income value. So whenever you are applying this using the cell referencing, make sure that you enter a comma between each of the cell difference, right? So let's move to the subject to constants. So what was our constants here? So our constants was the unit sold value should be less than 900 and should be an integer. And our second constant was the price per unit value should be less than 4, right? Let's apply these two constants using solver now. Now click on add, and where we need to apply the first constant. So this is our cell differencing, because we are asking Excel to keep the unit sold value under 900, right, and less than 900. So this will be our first cell differencing, and the value should be less than 900, right? Click on add. If you have only one cell, if you have only one constant, then you can click on OK. But if you have any multiple constants, then you need to click you need to click on add multiple times, right? So so here in this case I have three constants, so that's why I'm clicking add multiple times. Now the second constant is I want this unit sold value to be in integer, right? So to keep this value to be in integer, I'm selecting this as integer, right? And then click on add. right? Now my last constant is I want the price per unit value should be less than 4, right? So I'm selecting this and keeping it is the less than 4. Right, now I have entered all my three constants here. Now I'm clicking on OK. Right, now you can see what we did here. We selected our objective as income cell, and by changing which variable cells we want our income value to be 3000. So by changing the unit sold cells, price per unit cell, and the cost per unit cell, we want our unit value to be changed as 3000. And whatever constants here, the first content is the unit sold value should be less than 900, and the second constant is the unit sold value should be in integer but not decimal, and our third constant is the price per unit value should be less than 4, right? So these are all our objectives, our parameters for solver to give us the correct answer, right? Now, once we added all our parameters, now click on solve. Now you can see we got our values here, right? So if you observe here, we got exactly what we wanted. So here I said the unit sold value should be less than 900. So Excel has given it as exactly 900, but not above 900, right? So our first constant has worked. And also I said Excel that the value should be in integer, but not in decimal. So this is an integer value. So we don't have any decimals here, right? And I also told Excel that keep the price per unit value under less than 4. So it has exactly given me 4, right? Now, and what was the income value which we were expecting? 3000, right? Now the income value has also been changed to 3000. So we exactly got what we wanted, right? So this is how you can use the solver option to get your exact results by applying multiple constants. Now if you want to keep the solver solution, you can select this and click on OK. But if you want to restore the original values, you can use this and click on OK, right? So this is how you can use the solver add-in to get your values here. Now let's look at one more example here, one more solver example here, right? So here I have a sample data of projects, right? I have a project names here, project 8 to project 9, and I have uh, the production cost, fixed cost, and extra cost for all these projects, and also I have the total cost. So the total cost here is nothing but the sum of production cost, fixed cost, and extra cost, right? So that is how we get the total cost here. And what is our constants here? So in this case, our constants are, so the first constant is the total budget, which is this one. This should not exceed above 65,000, right? So this is our first constant. So the total cost should not exceed 65,000. And what is our second constant? The extra cost should not exceed 1000. So this is our extra cost, right? So this extra cost should not exceed 1000. So it should be below 1000 only. And the fixed cost need to remain at 2000. So here the fixed cost is exactly 2000, right? So right, we don't have to change here anything. And what is the fourth constant? Total project cost for each project should not exceed 9600. So here the total project cost should not exceed 9600. Either it could be 9600 or less than 9600, right? So using solver, we will be applying all these four constants, right, to get our to get this total budget, total cost here, right? So let's apply the solver here. So the shortcut key is Alt A Y2, right? Now let me reset all these values here. Now click on OK, right? Now what is our first objective here? So our set objective will be the total cost, right? So this is where we want to apply all our constants, and this is where we want to replace. So this is where we are applying all our constants. So this will be our set objective. And what is the value which we want to replace here? So the value should be 65,000, right? So we are asking Excel not to exceed the value of 65,000. So it should be below 65,000, right? So 65,000 will be our value here, total cost. And by changing which variables we want to apply this value, total cost value here. So by changing our extra cost, and also enter comma, and also by changing the production cost, we want our total cost to be limited to 65,000, right? So here make sure that you don't select this total cost, because here we have the sum formula included here in the total cost. So if you select this as your self-referencing, the entire calculation will go wrong, right? So make sure you select the proper values here. So we want extra cost and production cost values to be changed, right? Right. Now we have added our changing variable cells. Now what? So we now the next step is to add our constants here. So we need to add this constants here, right? Click on add. Right. What is our first constant? Total budget should not exceed 65,000, right? Right. So here what will be our cell referencing? So this will be our cell referencing value, right? Right. So you can also take this as your cell referencing, and it should not exceed 65,000. Click on add, and extra cost should not exceed 1,000. So before that, click on cancel, click on this and delete. So before that, let's apply the second one first. So let's apply this constant first. So the extra cost should not exceed 1,000, right? So select this extra cost cells, and should be less than 1,000 or equal to 1,000. So here I am entering 1,000 and clicking add. Click on add, and the fixed cost need to be remain at 2,000, right? So here if you look at the fixed cost, it is already 2,000, so we don't have to touch it now. We don't have to tell Excel to change it to 2,000, because it is already under is already 2,000. So the value is fixed to 2,000. So we don't have to do any changes here for the fixed cost. Now total project cost for each project should not exceed 9,600. So here the total cost. So here we need to select this cell referencing, right? So this is where the total cost. So we are telling Excel that we don't want the total cost should exceed more than 9,600. It could be 9,600, but it should not be more than 9,600, right? So it should be less than or equal to 9,600, right? Now we have added our uh, two constants here. Now click on OK. Now let us once again understand our parameters here. So the objective is set as this one. So the total cost here will be our objective. And what is our value which we want here? So the total budget value is 65,000, right? And what are our changing variables here? So the changing variables will be the extra cost and the production cost, right? So those are our changing values, because if we if we change this values only, then our it will show effect on our total cost, right? So that will be our changing variables here. And what were our constants here? So the first constant was to keep the extra cost less than or equal to 1000, and the second constant was to keep the total cost less than or equal to 9600, right? So these are all the parameters which we need to apply. So click on solve, and now you can see Excel has applied our parameters here. Now you can see the total cost is exactly 65,000. It has not exceeded over 65,000, right? So it has kept exactly equal to 65,000. And if you look at the total cost here, so most of the total cost are less than 9,600, and few of the total cost are exactly 9,600. Uh, but most of the values are less than 9,600. So the total cost did not exceed our 9,600 value, right? And the extra cost is also less than 1000. Now, if you are okay with this result, you can click on OK. Now, after clicking on OK, you can change this to decimal to integer values. You can remove this decimals here, right? Right. Now you can easily understand. So our first constant was to keep the total project cost to less than 9600, and it should not exceed 9600. So solver has given exactly that. So the total cost is less than or equal to 9600, and the total cost is also should not exceed 6500. So it did not exceed 6500. It is exactly 6500, and the extra cost should not exceed 1000. So here the extra cost also did not exceed 1000. So fixed cost we did not change anything, so it is kept as it is. And the production cost also we we selected our change it as our changing variable. So Excel has took all these values here and given us the total cost, and ultimately it has given us the total project cost as 65,500, right? So we exactly got what we wanted using solver, right? So we told Excel to use this multiple constants here, and we also uh, told Excel to make sure all the values are in integers, and also we told Excel to keep the extra cost under 1000, right? So So that is the advantage of using solver here. We can use multiple constants to get our desired values here. I hope you understood the concept of solver and how did we use the solver option to get our desired values here. So what did we learn in this video today? So we looked at the difference between the goal seek and the solver option, and we also learned about solver, and also I showed you how to add in plugin of solver in Excel, and also we looked at two examples today for solver. And if you haven't watched my previous video on coolseek, please go and watch it so you will have a better idea. So before watching this video, I would suggest that you watch coolseek video first, and watch this video so you will get a clarity on that. And if you have any questions in today from today's video, so you can comment your questions below the video. I will answer to your questions. So if you like the topic, please like my video and subscribe to my channel so that I can make more interesting videos in Excel. And also in my next video, I am going to I'm going to explain you about the uh, scenario manager, and also the data tables concept in Excel. So which are part of what if analysis. So stay tuned for my videos and please subscribe my channel. Thank you.